Hey YouTube, welcome to the Crime Snoop channel for your dose of solved crimes, unsolved crimes, celebrity crimes, crimes of passion, and just downright despicable crimes. Okay, before we get into today's story, I just want to remind you that the free giveaway is still in effect. All you have to do is have someone you know subscribe to the channel and become a snooper. And I will send you a free gift to show my appreciation for your support. All right, other thing I want to mention is thank you so much for helping me to arrive at my first 100 subscribers. It's been awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's get into it. So today we'll be looking at a story of an attack on an elderly Asian woman in New York City by a parolee. Was this attack racially motivated, or was the alleged suspect an angry, ruthless person, or both? Meet Brandon Elliott, 38 years old, out of New York. Mr. Elliott was arrested for allegedly being seen on video attacking an elderly Asian woman. Who is Brandon Elliott? This man was released from prison in 2019, 17 years after he was convicted of fatally stabbing his own mother, Bridget Johnson, in 2002. At the time, he was 19 years old. He stabbed his mother 3 times in the chest, in front of his little sister, who was only 5 years old at the time. He was convicted of murder and sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Upon his release from prison in 2019, he was given a lifelong parole, meaning this man would never be allowed to not check in with the parole officer. He would always have to be on his best behavior his entire life. But Mr. Elliott doesn't know what it means to be on his best behavior. Reports show that 2 years before murdering his mother, he was arrested for allegedly robbing his mother. They had apparently got into an argument over money when he allegedly yanked her jewelry from her neck and choked her. It already says a lot about a person who can assault and kill their own mother. If you can kill the woman who gave birth to you and raised you, it is nothing for you to harm another person. It is alleged that while the elderly Asian woman, Vilma Carey, was headed to church, Brandon Elliott decided to once again unleash his menacing and evil behavior on another innocent person. A video shows Elliott pushing the elderly woman to the ground and kicking and stomping on this woman's head. Report says he shouted remarks which suggested the victim was attacked for being Asian. He allegedly said, "F you, you don't belong here." Was this a crime that was racially motivated? I'm not totally sure, but I believe it could more than likely be just that, as well as it could also be a deranged man with a hatred for all people. Remember, this is a man who assaulted and killed his black mother. He beat an Asian woman. It may not be the color or race that sends this man into a violent rage. It may be that violence and bringing harm to others, period, is part of his DNA. There's also video that shows 3 men inside a building looking out at the incident take place. They appear not to want to get involved. It's unknown whether they called 911 or not, but one of the men actually closed the door while Miss Carey was being stomped by Elliott. Perhaps they were afraid for their own lives, which is understandable. The thing about that entire incident that bothered me the most was that even after Mr. Elliott fled the scene and Miss Carey was still lying on the ground, none of the observers even felt the compassion to go out and check on her. At least one of the men was reported to actually be security for the building. I don't advocate for putting your life in danger, but when the immediate threat is gone, does human decency for another person kick in? Okay, I won't pass judgment on these men, but I am of the opinion if all you have to offer someone in need is comfort, why not? It doesn't cost you anything. Now, the management team of the building has reportedly suspended the men who took no action. Was that a fair response to the men's inaction on that day? I guess it would depend on what their employer expected from them as being part of the security team in that building. At any rate, their actions or inactions is not what caused this innocent woman to be beat and stoned. It was the actions of one man, Brandon Elliott. It was his despicable actions against an elderly woman going to worship at her church that left her with a broken pelvic, many bruises, and a traumatic experience that she will have to deal with for the rest of her life. Brandon Elliott is being held in jail for 2 counts of assault as a hate crime. I pray for Miss Carey's recovery, and I pray that she gets the justice that she deserves. Do you think this is a hate crime? What is your opinion on this? Leave a comment below and let's talk about it. As always, thanks for watching. Smash that like button for me and subscribe if you haven't. I'm off to do more snooping.